You literally have like 4 different names.
I do. You know, it's hard for me to like keep just one little, nickname. I like to, keep it, one or the other kind of thing. So,
one gets kind of old. You just take out a new passport. You're like Jason Bourne. I mean, when this one gets
Jason
old,
Bourne.
you just, I made a Jason Bourne reference.
Yeah.
Come at me. No.
That is awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Pixels After Dark with us once again. I am one of your hosts, Joe. With me tonight is Tyler. And Ruby could not be with us tonight. Her schedule is a little crazy and busy. But as always, Elaine Nerd Needle has joined us to be our guest host. And she does a phenomenal job at it every single time. Elaine, how you doing?
Thanks.
Was that too much?
I'm doing great. Hi at me.
Thank you so much.
Did she say at me?
I think she did.
No, I said hi at me. Don't at me. Don't at me.
I thought she was like, at me, bro.
Don't at me, bro. Well, it's always a pleasure having you on with us. And thank you so much for coming on and guest hosting with us. It means the world to us. Always look forward to an opportunity to hang out with you and chat. You're just one of the nicest people in the world. It's so much fun, even though it's super dark.
Look, I'm getting ready for Shadow Keep, okay?
She's like,
apparently
in my living room.
I did the best that it doesn't get any better.
I'm just waiting for Eris's green orb to just like appear behind you.
Oh my God, that would freak me out. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. But with us tonight, we have a very special guest. She is an artist throughout the Destiny community, and she does amazing work and actually tackles quite the variety of different art styles. And it's a real pleasure to have her on. Grace, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Now, I'm going with Grace because a lot of people know you by that name, but you literally have like 4 different names.
I do. You know, it's hard for me to like keep just one little, nickname. I like to, keep it, one or the other kind of thing. So,
one gets kind of old. You just take out a new passport. You're like Jason Bourne. I mean, when this one gets
Jason
old,
Bourne.
you just, I made a Jason Bourne reference.
Yeah.
Come at me. No.
That is awesome.
Yeah, you could say that. I fit, it fits the hunter aesthetic that I try to strive for. So.
That was my next main question. Titan, Hunter, Warlock.
Hunter.
You answered truthfully.
Hunter.
I appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome.
Hunters unite.
Yes.
And it's so dark when you can't see. I think we're rocking the same jacket.
I think we are. I can see the zippers. Yeah. Is it the Crimson Days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like you
There's
planned
some
it,
coordination.
Yep. You know us.
Now I don't know about you, Joe. I feel left out now. I'm like, well, what's up in my room real quick?
You want to pause it? We can coordinate.
I'm going to go grab a
Upstairs real
cape
quick?
or something if we pause it.
Oh God, my Cloak of Tanix is somewhere nearby. I actually do.
You have a hunter cape?
I do have a hunter cape.
Oh, my goodness.
I
That
can't
is
pull it out. I know
dedication
where it
to the
is.
cause.
So
It has
Joe,
no
where's your
house.
Titan mark?
It's on the shelf over here behind me.
It's back in the closet.
With this 5,000 piece
Oh,
collection here.
I also hold on, this one actually is right next to me.
Now, if you're listening, you don't know what we're referring to. We're all big fans of the Destiny franchise from Bungie Studios, and we are super excited and overly, want to talk about it because the new expansion comes out tomorrow. So, being gamers, there's a lot of excitement going on right now. But did you just pull up a full-on 3D printed prop?
It's a Better Devils, yes.
Good
How's it going?
Lord. Oh,
my
Trigger
ghost is also
safety.
somewhere. Hey, I know. Yeah, I don't put my finger on the trigger. It's fine.
You got it, girl.
Yeah. I have a picture of David Rodriguez holding the Better Devils at C2E2 because that's where I ended up getting it last year. And
Very
he's the lead editor director from Warmind. So he's good buddy of mine. He's
That's
a really
pretty
great
awesome.
guy. So yeah. But he's a good guy. He's really cool. So
Yeah, you got quite the following too. I mean, there was you made a lot of friends with a lot of the Bungie devs. Who was it tagged you a couple weeks ago?
It was Adam.
Yes. Yeah.
Pinatorius or Pinatorius. I can't remember how you pronounce it actually. But yes, yeah.
That guy's a riot.
He's really great. And
You know
I met him through Moons, so he's really cool. But
You know what the funny thing is? I didn't realize he was a Bungie employee for the longest time. I never looked at his profile. I just thought he was just a cool dude from the community,
I've done that
just
with
a cool dude from the
few
community.
of them,
Yep.
where like you find out later, like one's a writer or something. You're like, oh,
It's like,
well, that's cool. He was really
it's like
It's hard to remember that they're just normal people most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His
Get that
pun
really
game is so
going.
strong. It's great.
The pun game is strong with this one. I'm just letting you know. No, but great.
Mhm.
Well, we're going to dive right in. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming on with us tonight. We're going to dive into some questions. Grace, real quick, for people that might not know you, could you tell a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, it's like my favorite interview question ever.
Yeah.
So it's big sarcasm, but 'cause I find it hard to talk about myself. But so my name is Grace. I guess I'm not just a Destiny community artist. I do art of like my own characters and stuff, but I do mainly a lot of Destiny art. I am currently a middle school art teacher, so that's what I went to college for, was art education. Yeah. So that's what I do mainly right now. I also do commissions on the side. I don't know. I mean, that's really what I do, hobby wise. I play obviously a lot of D2. I practice archery. Just really stuff like that. So I'm an artist, and I also have a minor in climatology. So I do a lot of, that was my other thing, was weather photography and severe weather. So that's kind of my thing. So art, science, and that kind of stuff.
Art, science, and archery. I totally get it.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That is awesome.
So,
well, now I have to ask you, what kind of bow do you use?
I use a compound bow.
It is a compound. All right.
Yes. Yeah. So when we moved to Illinois, because I lived in 7 different states. So when we moved from North Carolina to Chicago, like I guess a sport they offer for like upperclassmen in our gym class was archery, and I ended up really loving it. So I went to a pawn store and got a bow with the arrows that came with it, and just got a target and started practicing more. So it's one of my favorite.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
I needed a way to stay like, when I got out of high school, because I wasn't going to do college softball, because I played for 14 years. So I decided to use archery as kind of like my way to at least do a little bit more when I'm home and not 4.5 hours away at school. So
Yeah.
But
No, that's really cool.
so
Do you ever do hunting or just purely target practice?
I have never been hunting before. A lot of the people I used to play softball with in North Carolina did a lot of hunting. I usually just mooched off the deer jerky they brought to tournaments. So,
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
That's the
it's
fun
good,
kind.
good jerky. So, I mean, yeah.
Very cool.
All the reward, none of the work. Just wait until like 2 weeks after season ends and be like, who's got the jerky?
Yeah. Give me the jerky.
You just hit everybody up. Make your rounds. It's like trick or treat.
Exchange baked goods for jerky.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I brought brownies.
I can't bake. Like, even if I follow a recipe, it never turns out the way it's supposed to. But I try so
That's
hard.
me too, man.
But
my wife can't make Jell-O. She can make the storm.
Jell-O?
But Jell-O, she cannot make for like
that's
the life
okay.
of her.
She like overwater it?
I don't know. It just
overwater Jell-O, is that a thing?
Yeah. I don't even know because I've never heard of someone being able to make Jell-O. That's a
No
fact.
Jell-O shots at Joe's house.
Oh no!
Oh, damn.
I can. I'm like a
Joe's
Jell-O
like I make the
shots.
Jell-O.
I can't bake, but I can make Jell-O shots.
Yeah, go figure. Look at that one. Well, I can't bake anything, but if you want to drink, I can make some Jell-O shots.
I'm with you. I
got
can't
you.
bake with crud either.
I can make you a good drink. It's fine.
I always it doesn't matter where you put it in the oven. I always end up burning the bottom of the cookies. And I'm like, I'll put it on like 170 and let it bake for like 8 hours to try and not burn it, and it still burns. But the tops would be perfect. I don't understand. It's a curse.
It's a tragic curse.
Yeah.
We'll do
Forget
some
about brownies. We won't even go there.
We'll do some Skype baking this Christmas. I'll get those cookies straight with you. Don't you worry.
I've debated getting like the old school easy bake oven because I'm like, you can't burn it with that. It's like impossible. It's a light bulb.
Yeah, but you also can't cook it with that. You know, it's going to come out raw. Like
No, I had an easy bake oven growing up.
You don't remember? They make a guy version now. It looks like a barbecue.
How do you think?
Like when we were
There's a
younger,
guy
they didn't
version?
have the guy version. They were like, guys don't bake. And then all the little boys were like secretly, you know, like baking in the closet because everyone wanted it. And now they make a barbecue version, and it does the same stuff. It bakes cookies.
Stop.
I'm dead serious with you. I got it for my nephew, and he loves it.
Fact check.
That's how I got fat as a child. Was my easy bake oven.
My daughter, my 11-year-old had an easy bake oven, and I ended up doing all the baking with her in that thing. And sorry, there's no trumping that. That's just hilarious. I got fat with an easy bake oven. That shit was good, but I'll tell you, sweet on the lips, forever on the hips.
Pixels After Dark quote shirt.
What's that?
Right there.
What?
Aren't you guys an art podcast? Yeah, but we talk about easy bake ovens, and let me tell you,
childhood obesity,
art.
Nothing goes quite as well as doodling with cookies.
Well, just so you know, it checks out. There is a boys version.
I told you. It looks like a barbecue too, but it makes baked goods. It's really confusing.
It does, but we totally got off the rails with the easy bake oven.
Fine.
But Grace, what's your preferred medium when you're creating a piece?
Currently I use my iPad to do digital art. When I think it was my sophomore year of college, my pen tablet broke, so I went back into traditional. So I didn't really do any digital art until like I think this past December. So that's when I got back into digital art. So I'm really excited for Inktober because I'm really excited to start using like pens and Copic markers and all that stuff again. But when I do traditional, it's pen, ink, and watercolor. And when I work on digital, obviously it's just I use Procreate. So that's what I use. So I actually have it sitting right here. But.
Nice.
Which do you prefer? If you had to choose.
I don't know. When I get burnt out with digital, I go back to traditional, but I think right now I prefer digital. But I mean, I do really love working with like watercolor. So whenever I get like sick of digital, so. But I kind of switch back and forth when it comes to that. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you don't get burnt out on one. You kind of keep it. Oh, no, I dig that. That's awesome. Do you actually what motivates you to create? Like what's your catalyst that really inspires you to tackle a new project?
There are certain things. One of the funniest I guess things that kind of inspire me to like go home and draw. is every time. Honestly, every time I see a Marvel movie, it gets. I don't know if it's like the adrenaline or like
It's the soundtracks,
the
man.
because I love. Yes, I think it is. But I'm like, I'm sitting halfway through the movie. I'm like, I want to go home and draw, or I want to go home and write, or something, because I get like so like pumped up. Either that, or just video games and music. So I listen to music every time I work. Or I'll put on like someone's Let's Play in the background. So like I have something to listen to. I can't listen to podcasts while I work because the words are too distracting. But yeah, it's usually, some kind of indie rock or funny enough, like anime openings or video game soundtracks that I listen to while I work. So it really just depends on what I'm working on. And that's usually what decides what I'm going to listen to or pay attention to while I work. So yeah.
That's funny you say that, and you led into that because one of the questions that Ruby asks usually every episode is towards the end is, what do you listen to when you're working? And you just said it. It's right there.
Yeah.
Not
I have a bunch
podcasts.
of Spotify playlists. Yeah, I can't do podcasts. Podcasts are more for, because I commute like about almost an hour to work, like to and from work. So that's when I listen to podcasts, because usually the ones I listen to are kind of long form, or they, keep me focused, like, or they make the drive seem less long. So yeah.
No, I hear you. Oh, that's cool.
I listen to podcasts while at work as well.
I listen to murder podcasts.
With, like, the driving.
Do you?
Heck yeah, I do.
Nice.
I don't look like the type of person who would.
Oh, Joe.
If you like that
stuff's awesome.
Have you heard of Sawbones?
No.
You should listen to Sawbones. It is Justin McElroy and his wife, who is a doctor, and they talk about like various like medical practices and just a whole bunch of stuff related to like the medical field, and it's super cool. One of them they talk about one of the recent ones they talked about like the whole vaping thing that's going on, and like another one they talked about like the Black Plague. So like it varies.
That sounds
but
like my
they
jam.
talk about. I think you would like it a lot. So
that's so funny you mentioned that, because we just got this thing at work talking about the Black Plague, and I was like, that doesn't exist anymore. And then sure enough, there's been like 3 cases this year or something. I'm like,
don't hang around rats, bruh.
Yeah. So apparently someone
it was fleas, isn't it?
To the 1800s and then came back and was like, oh.
Well, no, initially the Black Plague back in the day was actually the fleas, but they were transmitted to the rats, who were pretty much overrunning, Europe, and the rats are what spread the plague from
thus led the house cat.
Huh?
And thus the house cat was born, man. I got rid of the plague.
Dude, I don't know how your house cat is, but mine is lazy. He is not catching shit. I sleep. Like, he is a baby.
You ever thrown a mouse in front of him?
I've thrown everything in front of him. At this point, I'm about to throw $100 bill in front of him. No,
and he just starts dancing.
Yeah,
Joe.
Have you tried lasagna?
Oh, that's a
He's
good
an
one.
orange tabby too. He's a big orange tabby. I've thrown 3 different kinds of catnip and treats and everything. He just looks at you like, meh.
Does he?
I feel like all our viewers who are under 18 did not get that reference. Like, why would you throw lasagna at a cat?
That's animal abuse. Why would you suggest
I know.
So
I know we're going to be like Alinity with the freaking vodka.
Oh, God.
Debacle.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Don't curse me.
They're like, Pixels After Dark throws lasagna at animals. Boycott.
God.
He was hungry.
It was an Italian cat.
Yeah. You're not getting the whole story.
Italian hands.
There was Parmesan cheese. It's fine.
No, but awesome. Does anybody have any questions before we jump in?
Well, I kind of have one as far as music goes, since you said you listen to anime intros. So, what is your go-to anime intro music? Like,
JoJo's
do you have a
Bizarre
favorite
Adventure.
Anime where you're like, oh my gosh, the music is like incredible.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. my friend who's in the chat right now, I know she's gonna freak out when I say that, but she's the one who got me into the anime. And honestly, I could listen. Plus, like pulling up like the individual character intros too are really, really good because some of them are like, especially from like the most recent part, was really, really good. But yeah, it's usually JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I have a playlist called Weeb Days on Spotify, right? Where all of my intros that I love are on there. It's usually JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or it's Full Metal Alchemist because they have some really, really good intros.
Yeah, that's cool music for sure.
So.
That's funny you say that because anytime I do like a Solar Hunter, I listen to Salamander's intro for Fairy Tail. Just on like replay.
That's perfect.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so epic. And then I'm like, my drawing's not as epic, needs more fire.
Yeah.
More fire always, right?
It's just true. If you listen to that song, you just add fire where like it doesn't even make sense to be.
Mm-hmm. I feel it.
I've never watched anime. I'm just gonna see myself out.
It's okay. That's fine. I'm not that
it's
kind
not
of anime
for
fan.
everyone.
Yeah, it's not. To be fair, it's really not.
Like no anime? In this day and age, it's like impossible not to see at least one thing of anime. Like but you'll
no
watch
Pokemon?
Downton Abbey. Like
Wait.
it's like going out of style.
Does Ruby count though?
Yes, Ruby counts.
Okay, I watched
say
Ruby.
Counts. Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely turned into a very I think that's a style that they were going for was like a anime magical girl, fight anime.
So then I've watched one anime.
It counts.
No, you're fine.
I knew it.
You're good. Ruby has
Did you
some
watch
great
Spider-Man
music,
Into
too.
the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
2. Solid 2.
Okay, but
go.
all right. Well, this ain't about me. Let's keep going.
Lion King? I'm just kidding.
Lion King.
It's animation. I don't care what you say.
Oh God.
All right, Tyler. It's all you, man.
I'm just trying to boost her numbers, you know what I mean? Give her some street cred.
Oh my goodness.
Street cred with the anime crowd.
They're vicious, man. You don't even know. You
There
like
are
misquote
some
a
pretty scary
character,
anime
everyone lets you know.
fans.
You're like, oh, crap.
And
So, Grace,
Yeah.
since we're getting sidetracked here.
Yes.
So since you mentioned that you do more than just Destiny art, do you do a lot of research for projects or do you just draw straight from memory? How do you go about creating a new piece?
When it comes, I guess especially with Destiny art, there are a few armor pieces that I kind of have committed to memory, and you'll see like a lot of my like art, like the characters in my art wearing those pieces a lot. So it's like mainly like the Vanguard Dare set, the specific cloaks, some exotics, like I really do remember. But for everything else, I try to get every angle possible because there's a lot that I don't remember, and I tend to be a perfectionist when it comes to details in my armor pieces and stuff. Same thing for, anything else I'm working on. I always like if people can provide me with enough references, especially with commissions, the more the better, even if it's like a random picture of an outfit they found on Pinterest. Because I do a lot of, I used to do a lot of D&D commissions too. So people will often come like, I don't have art of my character yet. Can you draw this character? And I just give you a big long description. I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. I love those kinds of projects because you get to work with a commissioner and you get to kind of like test your limits and stuff. But mostly I do, most of the research I do is just reference based. I do try to look up like stock images for poses and stuff too. If it's not a pose I've done before. So that's kind of where the research goes. But yeah.
Very cool. So when you say commissions, do you do a lot of character commissions or do you ever do environments and stuff? Or how are your commissions mostly?
No one's ever asked me to do environment commissions. So it's mostly character based, people, with their OCs. I've never gotten anything as far as people asking me to draw canon characters. which, I would love to do at some point, but it's mostly, people's own Guardians or Dungeons and Dragons characters or just original characters and stuff like that. So
Dungeons and Dragons would seem really fun because it's such like a huge variety and it's based off of people's own like quirks and stuff. So I can see how those would be a lot of fun, especially if you're into designing.
Mm-hmm. I'm lucky I've gotten to do a lot of tieflings because I love drawing horns and stuff like that. So I'm really glad I'm like, bring me your tieflings. I want to draw your tieflings, please. Or just, stuff like that. So
send them all to me.
Yes, tieflings, dragonborn, those kinds of things. The more monstrous races, they're my favorite. So
yeah. Dragonborn stuff sometimes looks really sweet.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah.
So you mentioned you mainly do digital nowadays. Is that what you do primarily for commissions, or does it change in price and stuff when you do traditional stuff? Do you do traditional for commission work or no?
I used to. I kind of want to start offering again maybe after Inktober's over, but yeah, I do mainly digital. I only do digital commissions right now, so that's what I stick to at the moment. So, but I think I've done a couple really cool traditional pieces. I've mailed some out to commissioners before. So it's definitely something I would love to get back into doing, but it's something I did before I got my iPad. So
very cool. What tools do you use when you use digital? Do you use I know you mentioned you were on the iPad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you use Procreate, or have you tried Adobe's new program, Fresco?
I don't use a lot of Adobe programs on my iPad. I used to use Photoshop a lot just for photo edits and stuff, but all I use on my iPad right now is Procreate. If I'm doing Twitch emotes or sub badges, I'll do the sketch in Procreate, and then I'll actually send it over to Clip Studio Paint, so that way they have a better compression than at the moment than Procreate does. So that way I know when I'm making the emotes smaller, I'm not losing as much quality as I would with Procreate. So that's why I finish everything on Clip Studio Paint.
Is your desktop Mac as well, or?
I used to have a Mac, but it was a really old MacBook that at the time of me getting my current computer, which is a Windows, the hard drive cables had gotten ruined somehow twice. I had to replace them twice, and it was very stressful. So I was just I'll get a computer that can handle maybe gaming and, just a better processor in general. So that way I could try gaming if I wanted to. So, I wanted it to be able to play some games too. But I don't do a lot of
very nice
stuff.
So with you switching over to PC, do you find going back and forth from Procreate, which is mainly Apple-based algorithms, to PC, does that affect your drawings at all, or no?
No, because what I do, I can actually see if I can pull it up real quick. But I just I really just use the app because I can just upload it. It just shows up just like that. I don't know if it's too bright, but I mean, it looks just like it does on. It looks just like it does on desktop. So I don't even have to use a pen tablet for my computer. I really just do everything on my iPad, upload it to Google Drive, and there you go. It's done. So it's pretty easy to switch because they have a cloud feature. So if I wanted to use my pen tablet on my desktop with Clip Studio, I could just port it into the cloud, open up my laptop, and work on it there. But I like being able, because it's like a sketchbook having it, my iPad right there in front of me. So that's why I basically do all my stuff on the iPad, and I don't really bother with my laptop to do art stuff. So
that's awesome. I didn't even know, because that was the Clip Studio app, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know they had an app on iPad, so that's really interesting. So it just lets you seamlessly transition, then you just upload everything to Google.
Yeah, so it's a little hard to get the cloud working on the iPad. It's definitely something I always forget. And the only unfortunate thing with the iPad version is that Clip Studio Paint on desktop for Microsoft and Mac is a one-time purchase, but on the iPad it's a subscription. So I think it's just because they have to use app developers and stuff like that to keep it going. But I hope that at some point it becomes a one-time purchase.
Right.
Because the monthly thing kind of kills me. So I don't use it a ton, but I stick to Procreate just because of that. So
if you don't mind me asking, if someone was interested in getting Clip Studio, what's the monthly subscription going at?
I think it depends because they offer for the app, they offer EX and Pro. Oh, the prices are right here. I can tell you. So for EX, it's right here on the app.
This is not sponsored by
$8.99 a month. Unfortunately, EX is $8.99 a month and $71.99 a year. Pro is $4.49 a month and $24.99 a year. Pro is really what I would recommend because it gives you everything that normally Clip Studio Paint has, and then I guess it says EX gives you access to all features, including those for comics, animation, and novels. So there you go.
So if you're a hardcore animationist,
yes, they recommend EX. I think just because it shows you a little bit of everything, because you can do a 6-month free trial. So they recommend EX first.
Oh wow!
So you can see if that's what you need, and then if you don't need it, you just get Pro and you pay the little bit, per month.
Yeah,
$4.49 is not bad. So
I can see that being a good marketing tool too, because when you have access to like everything and then all of a sudden like some of those features get taken away, I could see people being like, well, I don't want them taken away, even though they never use them.
But I needed those.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, those were mine.
Yeah. Like Clip Studio has the figure poser.
Yes, that's with EX. Yeah.
Right. So I never used that thing. And then when I was using Procreate, all of a sudden I was like, I'm upset I don't have the figure poser anymore. But I never used it to begin with, so it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. Plus with everything that Procreate's like adding with their next big update, that's definitely something they could probably end up adding in the future. You never know, because at least Procreate is a one-time purchase and it's all the updates are free. So you don't have to pay anything for the big updates, which is really, really nice. So
someone's dying in the background, sorry.
It's okay.
It's just getting ready for spooky season.
Right.
Ooh, the big spooks.
You know what's really funny? Okay, so we were talking about this the other day. So Halloween's got all like the creepy crawlies, you know what I mean? They always show like spiders and things like that. Have you noticed like come Halloween time, you never see spiders? Like real ones. And then come summertime, they're everywhere.
Oh, just come over to my house.
Colder. I was about to say, my classroom, I keep spiders. Like, I don't keep them. They just decide to exist in my classroom. I promise I don't keep them. I made a decision not to kill them because ants also try to come in, and the spiders eat the ants, and they're my pest control, and they're great. So as long as they don't torment me, it's a mutual. You get to stay inside where it's dry. You get food. It works out. Everybody's happy.
Very true.
So my students don't like it, but I tell them the ants, it's better than ants. Yeah,
it is. Ants. Oh man, they drive me nuts. So. It's funny because I actually watched this ant YouTube channel. It's called Canada Ants.
Yeah.
Super nerdy, but whatever.
Okay.
So you're that bored in that truck.
Listen.
You're watching YouTube channel of ants.
Shout out to Canada Ants. Let it happen, Joe. But he goes over different kinds of ants. And before I used to think they were giant pests. But once I watched that show and I could see like the difference in personalities between like the different species, I had a new appreciation for them. It like made me think twice about busting the Raid can out,
It made you think twice about murder.
I was like, well, maybe they'll find their way back outside, and then that didn't work. So
yeah, that was my mentality until in college I lived in the same single dorm room my junior senior year, and my junior year because I kept my room very clean. I took the trash out when I got close to being overfilled and everything, and packed up and left for the summer. I came back, and 2 days after moving in, I wake up because I have like my own like little bathroom, whatever. because it's like a brand new dorm.
Mhm.
I walk over to use the bathroom. It's like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I look down and there are ants everywhere. I'm on the 4th floor, which is the top floor. This is Southern Indiana.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I'm like,
Hell
I
no.
literally went, what the? And I just was like, so during the summer, because I went out and got Raid, I got like, what is it, anthrax? The powder you can put. I think that's what it is. Borax. It's borax.
I was
It's
like,
borax.
anthrax is a super deadly virus.
She had it sent in the mail, and
oh God, I'm so
This
sorry.
shirt.
Getting flagged for terrorism. The Patriot Act's getting enacted right now. Freaking Trump's gonna come.
I'm on a government watch list. It's fine. So I went out and got Raid and Borax. And I went in because I could see where the ants were coming out of. Apparently, I don't know how they did it over the summer, had gotten into the building, had eaten all the way up to this little crack in my bathroom, because as I was pouring Raid into this little hole in my bathroom, it's just emptying. It's like draining into this hole where the ants were coming out of.
Person below you is like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm like, well, they were, really dedicated to digging their way up and into my bathroom, but I'm like, why? I'm on the 4th floor. No one else is having ants in their room but me. So I don't know. But oh
You
my
just had
God,
really
it was like a
good
horror
smelling
movie.
soap.
I guess. I don't know.
It smelled like cookie dough.
But again, there's our train of thought. Ants, man. They're crazy.
Ants in the bathroom. She got rid of them and also got a new neighbor downstairs. Nobody
I just
knows
drained
why.
them all down into the 3rd floor beneath me. So, it's fine.
So
Yeah,
when
from
you're
above.
when you're not battling ants, how else are you managing your time?
Poorly. That's your answer. No. So I do, because I am still like technically I'm like one class under being a full-time teacher. So they, hired me on as part-time. So my planning periods in the time at school where I'm not teaching, I use that for grading, for getting things prepared in the class. So that way when I come home, I don't have anything to grade. If I need to check email, I can just check email. And I can work on art. I can just relax because, I'm getting up at 5 a.m, driving to work, getting home at like 3 o'clock at the latest because of traffic. So I make sure that I get everything done, while I'm at school, because I have a ton of time there. So I can have my personal time when I come home and play games or, do anything else. I have my Fridays reserved for D&D. So that sort of thing. But yeah, I just make sure I separate work and home so that way I'm not super stressed when I get home.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, burned out.
That's been my struggle, separating. It's more like when I first get home, I'm still in like work
Mm-hmm.
mode.
Yeah.
So it takes me a second to kind of separate that.
Yeah.
But I like that you're able to kind of get it done. Sometimes like the drive home is when I can detune as well.
Yeah,
So
because
do you find commuting like that helps you?
Yeah, because if I have like a really rough day, then I have music that I can listen to. Like I will just turn it up full blast and just drive, and the music drowns out, kind of melts away everything that probably.
What kind of
got
music
to me
are you
that
listening to?
On days like that, it's Marshmello. If you know the DJ Marshmello.
Yeah.
I blast his music. It's usually Joytime 2. That album is really, really good for me. Or I will listen to Imagine Dragons because their Origins album is really, really good for that. Especially for me. Or if it's just been a really bad day and I need to like laugh or like get rid of some anxiety that I've got, I will listen to My Brother and Me, which is a podcast. So, because they never fail to make me laugh. They're great. So,
it's awesome. Very cool. So I have to ask this because we haven't had a full blown art teacher on the show yet. How do you grade other people's artwork? That's got to be super difficult.
Harshly.
Harshly.
If it were high schoolers, yes. Oh my
I would
God.
be tuned. I'd be like, well, they
Red
tried,
dip
so
pen.
like A+.
So I tell them, who is that? Oh, hey, Altix. So the way that I grade my students' work, I tell them before we start a lesson what I'm grading them on, because I tell my kids, I'm like, art's very subjective. We talk about the beginning of the semester. Like we will look at very popular paintings or artists, and I'll ask, like, who likes this piece and why? And I'll say, okay, well, who doesn't like this piece and why? So it kind of gets them to realize that people have different tastes. So what I think is good might be bad to someone else and vice versa. So I tell them, I'm going to focus on, did you follow the directions? Is your piece neat? And did you spend your time in class wisely? Like you weren't messing around, joking around with your friends? Were you actually working? And then I give, kids who may not be artistically inclined a chance to write about their work. So they have to do an artist statement after they finish a project. So that way they're still earning points, and they're not, it's not just all artwork focused. So they're also doing like a little bit of discipline-based art education or EBAE. So, and I always include like art, like an art historical component, or I try and include something that is world-based, because I love to remind kids that, art is a very diverse thing, and it comes from a ton of different people, a ton of different countries. It's not just based, in our own country. So I think that, gets kids thinking a little bit more about, the world. You can bring in a little bit of, conflict with, whatever's going on. It just gets them talking about art and forming their own opinions, and kind of evolving into someone who, they could go to a museum and talk about artwork instead of just looking at it and taking a picture and that being their only thought about it. So it gets them thinking, gets them talking. But yeah, to summarize, I don't grade on looks or their talent. I grade on, how they're spending their time. Are they following directions, neatness? So that way it's not me saying, oh, that's really bad, you get, 10 points off or something. So
right.
It just requires a little bit more attention to, each person. So like, were they messing around? And usually the kids who do it are really easy to remember. So it's not hard to, knock off a couple points that, I know you weren't paying attention or doing your work.
You sounded like a teacher,
so.
right?
I know, it's so
the
bad.
Troublemakers of the class.
Yeah,
right
well,
here.
it's my 8th graders that are just, I love them to death, and I have a lot of great 8th graders, but the boys that I have are just, I got into a shouting match with one today because he took a kid's stool. I'm like, there's 5 open stools in the front of the class. Just go get one of those. Don't yank Peter's out from underneath him. Yeah, poor Peter.
On teach.
I'm like,
funny
I literally, it's great. But
I love 8th graders because it's that age where they think they're like badass, and then they go into high school and they're like, oh my gosh. And
I'm telling them that. I'm like, you guys are, I'm like, you guys need to, sometimes I'll tell them, I'm like, act your age. You are acting like a kindergartner right now. You need to be prepared. You're going to be freshmen next year. And high school teachers are not going to be as lenient as they are in middle school. I'm like, you'll have your cool teachers. I'll tell them, your cool teachers like me, but,
She's like,
I like to think I am a cool teacher. Yeah, put me on rate your professor as a, really good teacher. I do my best, but
does that still exist?
It does. Yeah. My sister's still a college student, so it's how she signs up for classes. So
I remember you said that too.
Yeah. But there's no file on me yet, so I'm trying to build a good rep with the students.
Better to have no rep than a bad rep.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So, but yes,
that's cool. That I never really. It's interesting to hear it from an educator perspective, because I know, like, we have a Discord, right, of a bunch of Destiny community artists, the DCA Discord, and we have a critique section, and it's funny because that critique section is either people like grilling you over stuff, or people telling you you're awesome. There's like no middle ground of it.
Oh, geez, that would drive.
So it's
That'd
interesting
make
to
me
hear
so
from your
anxious.
perspective, where you're like, I'm grading based off of did they follow a certain technique, or is it sloppy, is it neat, kind of thing. So it's almost like I'm gonna like go into admin chat tomorrow and be like, hey, so like we should change up critique section.
And that's what I love doing with our students is their critiques. When we finish
So
the
hey, we're
project.
bringing Grace on board. She's gonna run critique section.
I was shockingly in a sorority. That's what I did in college. And when we would do recruitment, we'd do pro, con, pro, final con, final pro. That's how we would talk about people and talk about decisions. And I think that
would stress me out.
I hate it. I hated it so much. Like, I'll be honest. But I had a lot of great friends, and I did enjoy it because I had an office and all that fun stuff. But, it gets stressful, and, you have to remind people not to talk about looks, because that's what I hated is when girls talked about the looks of other girls. And I'm like, guys, we're not recruiting based off looks. That's really shitty. Let's not do that. Like, can we not be that chapter on campus, please?
Yeah.
I don't want to be associated with that. But oh, hi. But so that's how I remind students. I'm like, remember, there's a very fine line that is not hard to cross between talking constructively and bullying about art when we critique our classmates' work. So, find something, so you can talk about the negative first, but then finish with positive, talk about something they did good, or talk about what you enjoy about it. But don't just, tear someone's artwork down because you don't like it. Try to give them, a nice constructive response. So, that's what I, when people, it surprises me now when people ask me, like, how does this look? Or can you talk about my art, or talk about this that I've done? And, I always make sure I include something good and something, they might need tweaking, because like, people don't want to be torn down, because that's just going to discourage people about, their artwork. And it's so much better to be positive than it is to be negative about something, because you want to encourage people to continue to make artwork. And I think continuing to be positive and giving them good feedback that's not mean really keeps them wanting to create. And the world needs more creative people and more ideas. So I think that keeping people in that lane is really good. So yeah,
that's really cool.
Totally, 100%
Well,
agree with that.
I have a question. Excuse me, Tyler.
Step aside, son.
Excuse me, sir.
I saw that after, and I was like, oh.
You're fine. I don't care. So I know you're a science and an art, which I am too.
Yeah.
If you've ever researched something for your art projects, what's the weirdest fact you've ever learned in the process?
Oh, geez. I don't know.
It's like maybe you're Googling a pose, but it wasn't the kind of pose you were looking for.
So that's how Leonardo's David was made. Oh gosh.
I think the thing that comes to my mind as a vivid memory was when I was researching for one of my original characters. I draw a ton, and I was like, I bet she drinks a lot. She's an alcoholic. I was in middle school, mind you. So I literally Googled different types of alcohol, because I didn't know what the strongest alcohol to drink was, and I wanted that to be what her favorite drink was. So to this day, she still loves vodka, and that's just, I think that's one thing that I.
What was her name?
Her name is Pan, and she's my current art Twitter icon. So that's her and her Destiny AU, because she's normally a big buff lycanthrope. So
she's just sitting up in the tower drinking some vodka.
Yeah. It's good. She's so much in common with my high school French teacher.
She hangs out with Drifter, and they shoot the shit all the time.
Drink vodka.
Yeah, they're great, and she's more than welcome. She loves trying out his really bad recipes, and
Not
I
enough
ship them
moat.
together, so that's just a thing. But yeah, so they're they're a
Now
really
I
good,
picture her being
mesh.
one of those girls that has the vodka in the flask, and she's at like the spicy ramen shop, and she's like,
That's
you know what
her.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, she'll be like on a nightfall, just like sipping vodka. Like, okay, you guys go for it. If you need me, I'm over here.
I am
So-
making
got
this
this,
jumping puzzle.
Let me know when you guys are through. Just pull me
damn
through.
it, Trevor.
Yeah, just rubber bands me, it's fine.
She'll stand there at like the Pyramidian strike where the Guardians are just running through, getting like lasered to just revive. Okay, sip, revive, and just let him go. Just,
Got you, bro. Keep going.
Yeah.
Waiting on the penis
keep
wall.
going.
We all know the wall.
Oh,
slaps the kindergarten on the back, like, you got it, bud. Just try again. It's okay. You got this. Just keep trying.
Have you
Slaps
guys
them so
seen
hard
Bad
they have to be
Teacher with
revived.
Cameron Diaz?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I'm picturing her guardian as at this
Yes.
point.
But
I
she
think you
also
just found the model of it.
She's super protective though. So she's a massive hunter. She's really, really big, but she will like protect you, and she's super loyal. But yeah, I love her to death. So she's been my longest running OC. So I love her. I'm always up.
How
for
big?
talking
How
about
big we
about
talking?
her.
Like 6'3", 210.
7 feet tall.
Hey!
Yeah, she's big.
She's like 6'3".
No, nah. She's my tallest guardian. My second tallest is Prime 25. He's my main Titan. So yeah, I have a name for all my guardians, and they've all got a story. So it's I'll stop myself while I'm ahead. So
I think it's fun. I would start getting into character while I'm playing with friends.
I do with my main hunter, Atlas. He's great. So I've written lore cards about him too. So I keep myself busy. So yeah.
Nice.
Very
Actually,
nice.
Elaine, do you want to take we had a question in the Twitch chat. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah. So, how does being a gamer and doing D&D affect you, like being a teacher? Are you the cool nerdy teacher, or like, oh, she's so lame, oh my god?
Wow.
Look, 8th graders, you're talking about 8th graders. They're harsh. Let's be
It's
real.
true.
I get nervous walking near teenage girls at a grocery store, okay? I don't get out much.
Switches aisles.
To be
I'll come
fair,
back.
it's really it's the current class of 8th graders that I have that are just really, really difficult. I'll say difficult as the word. But like the 7th graders that I have now, I know they're going to be great 8th graders. They're great kids now. They're going to be fantastic. But as far as like being a gamer and being, someone who plays D&D, I think like the first day when I had like a little bout quiz, because I'm like, Fortnite's still cool with the kids, right? And I play Fortnite, and I still play Fortnite. I'm like, I was like, for extra credit, if you could email me what my favorite skin is, you'll get extra credit. And I literally had like 12 students sending me multiple emails. I'm like, well, at least they're not afraid to communicate. So at least I opened that avenue with them. But I think some of them find it to be like really cool, or they just are kind of, I don't care. Or, the kids who, because I actually just started a D&D club at my school. So I have 20 kids that we're actually doing character creation tomorrow. Yeah. So it's a good mix of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders that are really interested in it. So I think, it's the kids who have the same interest or who are interested in it are going to think you're really cool, or think you're, going to come to you to talk to you because you're different than other teachers. And then you just have the kids who just really don't care. But, at least I can still make them laugh, and they don't, groan at my really bad jokes that I tell. So, because I do tell a lot of bad jokes. But
Yeah, like mom jokes.
Like dad jokes. They really got mad at me today because it's funny because it's aunt related. But I asked them, I got really serious with my 7th graders because they were all sitting around, and we're working on Inktober stuff. So I was like, hey guys, I was like, do you know why ants can't get sick? And they were like, no. And they're trying to give me answers. And I went, it's because they have little antibodies. And they all just lost it. It was great. I felt very proud of myself.
Saving that one.
Yeah, I got more. But yeah, so I think it definitely, being able to relate to kids and what they're into definitely makes you a more popular teacher. And I am a younger teacher. I am the youngest teacher at the school. So I think, that also helps a bit. So, but yeah, I think having the same interests helps a lot. So, yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Sweet. So I think it's like time for the best part of the show.
Oh gosh.
You have your iPad out. You goes to doodle.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is that what I do?
You get 60 seconds and you're going to doodle.
Okay.
Joe put 60.2 in the show notes. I
saw that.
To give you the additional 0.2 or not.
Okay. I thought it was like 60, like 0.2, so like a 60 and like another 60-second challenge, like two of them. I didn't know what that meant, but it works. So
I think that's 2/100ths of a second.
Joe, what is she drawing? What's she drawing, Joe?
Make sure you really add the details with that 0.2.
Okay.
Well, just so I was distracted for a moment because I was clipping that dad joke.
Oh no!
So it's forever attached to our Twitch.
I have another one that I love telling. If you want me to tell that one too.
I'm not.
We're
ready.
always open to dad jokes.
Okay. Oh, actually, I have two more. I'll tell my favorite one first. Okay. It is a man walks into a bar with a piece of asphalt underneath his arm. He looks at the bartender, and the bartender says, "What are you having?" And he says, "I'll take a drink and one for the road."
Oh my God.
Thank you.
You get like a book? Is that where these all come from?
No, these are just things I've picked up from other friends. So,
That was great.
But like years ago.
Now we know where her time management goes.
Yep. Yeah, but it also goes to dad jokes. There's also, how does Harry Potter get down a hill?
How?
He runs. J.K. Rowling. So,
Oh my God. Hello, police.
Oh my God. This is extra special to me because we just bought this like tiny pair of Harry Potter Vans for when our kids were born. I'm gonna save that now.
You've got to. You have to.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty freaking funny.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I don't know if I'm disappointed in myself, actually.
No, don't be. Don't ever be.
Should I get the timer ready?
Sure. I don't know what I'm drawing, though.
Joe, what is she drawing?
All right. Well, we're going to open this up to chat right now before we decide for her. So right now, everybody that's in chat, if you're new to listening to the audio version, we stream every show live. And during that, it's a little interactive thing we do, little special things. So people can tune in and watch it live. It's the 60-second challenge. It's a little art challenge, and we have chat help us decide what the subject's going to be. And this is probably one of the funnest things that I get to do with this crew of miscreants. No, because it can be literally of anything, and it could be a mashup of anything. So like right now, a hunter petting a dog. There's one. Okay, let's get a little more creative in there. Hamsters have been overdone, and so have ninjas. So if you match those together, ninja hamsters have been done multiple times. Let's do a dog. So this is only 60 seconds. So what else could we get?
Dog NATO.
Oh no.
A dog NATO.
Not dogs. Dogs are a big thing.
Shaq's and a dog.
So instead of Shaq's and a dog, what about Shaq's dog?
A Shaq's dog.
A Shaq's
Picking the
dog.
one animal I don't draw at all.
A Shaq's dog petting Shaq's. No.
No.
A dog
60
petting
seconds,
Shaq.
Joe.
I like it.
I don't know. That
Shaq's on the
200th of a
lead.
second
A
might
little
help.
BDSM, but whatever.
Yeah, that 0.2 seconds is really going to pay off.
Yeah,
You're going to see how imperative it is. No. So
Shaq's
is that
dog.
Shaq's dog?
I like
Is that where
Shaq's
we're going?
dog.
All right, Elaine, we have it right there. Shaq's dog. All right, Tyler, you got the timer?
I got it.
Look at
Sorry,
you.
I just pulled up the calculator. Winning.
Wow, we can just start adding ones.
All
every
right, we're ready.
time.
We're ready.
Winning. I love it. Okay. So you are
Oh, no,
in
wait.
control, sir. Oh, never mind.
I want to make sure my pen wasn't working for a second, and I was worried it was out of battery, and that would have just ruined it. But it's not. We're good. Fine. Because it doesn't tell me when it's dead. I know. I was like, finger.
All right, I'll give you a
Okay.
countdown. You let me know when you're ready.
I'm good.
All right. 3, 2, 1, start.
And we're
Oh, that
off.
was way too big. That is too big of a size.
Gonna do a
So I'll let you know at the
Shaq's
30-second mark and then at the 10-second.
So
Going
today's
to the
our
Shaq's
challenge is
dog.
brought to you by Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, releasing October 1st.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored at all. No.
30
but
seconds.
If you're not familiar with Shax, Shax is a character from the Destiny franchise who is a beloved character that I think people would riot if they killed Shax off.
Wait, Riot?
Oh, yeah.
Riot.
Okay, I thought I heard something much
10
different.
seconds.
Well,
Oh, this
hopefully
is
it
so
wasn't bad.
Oh, this is
5
so
seconds.
It's okay. I'll
Okay,
listen
you know
back
what?
to it.
No, you're right.
Pencils
It's
down,
funny. It's funny.
pencils down.
Oh boy, that was a fast 60 seconds.
I'm
That one
ready.
did go by. I don't know why,
Okay.
but when you were saying this episode is brought to you by, the only thing I thought of was Wonder Bread, like straight away.
You're old school.
I
know
just
Wonder Bread.
instantly heard that
Wonder
commercial
Bread.
again.
Like the forever sponsor of NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. God, I live near
What
a bread
about, like-
factory.
Do you?
Head on.
I did.
Applied directly to
Oh.
the forehead.
A
Don't
pie?
forget.
Oh, snap. That's
Head on. Apply
was-
directly to the forehead.
I'm missing something. What did I
It
miss?
just repeated itself 10 times. Forehead, or I'm going to say this real quick. Hold on. Head on. Apply directly to the forehead. It was like for forehead pain, like headaches. It was like this balm thing that you just rubbed on your forehead.
I remember.
It was like a
I
giant lip
remember
balm
that.
In the commercial, they just
Yep.
repeated and repeated and repeated.
Head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
That was good. Oh, shit.
Thank you.
All right.
There was another
It's
one about
burned.
cider too. Wasn't
Okay,
there?
am I sending this to somebody?
Well, you got to
to
hold
show
it up
it?
and show us.
First, you
so
got to
we can-
hold it
Oh,
up.
okay.
You
Yeah,
gotta,
we need to see this
you gotta
beautiful
put-
artwork.
you gotta
Hopefully
put your
you can
face
see
next
it.
to it.
Yeah. Wait.
All right.
Oh my god,
my gosh,
that
that's
is
adorable.
adorable.
Whoa.
Jinx, you owe me soda.
That's really cute. You're all like, I don't draw doggos. Boom, doggo.
It's his shoulder pads. It just
I
looks
was
like
about to say,
character
can
shoulder
we get
pads.
like
Oh my god, it's even
the awesomeness of the shoulder pads?
Can we turn that into a shirt? And just
I
put
mean, if I
60
clean
second
it up, it'd
challenge.
look a hell of a lot better. So
That is one of the
But-
better ones we've had.
That is a good
That is
one.
legit.
It's really good.
thanks.
I'm never doing this challenge.
Elaine,
Let me
you're
just-
next. I want a whole
God,
patch
what
made
did I
though.
do?
Bruh.
If I can just also show you this monstrosity that happened at Guardian Con. That.
It is the drifter dabbing.
The drifter dab.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Moon goes up to John Toe, who created Drifter, and goes, "This is great. She drew Drifter dabbing," and I was like, "Thanks for that. Thank you. It's great. I love it." It was fun though. It's really great.
I'm sure he loved it too. Come on.
Oh yeah, it was great. He was really nice. So, took a picture with me.
Somebody have a bear in their room with them because that sounded like a roar. Nope.
Oh,
Is it a bar?
R.I.P. Tyler. R.I.P.
Oh no. Peach goes Drifter. No. Drifter, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
All he wants.
We will grab that 60-second challenge piece off you because we are planning on doing something towards the end of the year, putting them all together in like a calendar or something for charity. So that was, and tell you the truth, I would rock a shirt of that for sure.
I would too.
I might be able to make that happen. I can probably clean that up and actually make it good. So,
yeah. Well, don't clean up the original.
I have the original saved, so I just saved it.
Trust me, we got stick figures. We got it all. No, there's no pressure. They're just a lot of fun. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, I love it. So
we'll get a email address, or actually, you could probably. Can you send? Yeah, you know what? We'll figure it out after. We don't need to be live on Twitch to figure it out. No, but going forward, is there any? Before we wrap up, is there any tips or suggestions that you would give to an aspiring artist starting out?
I always, encourage people to varying levels of skill to just post their art. Don't be afraid to just put whatever you're working on out there, because I know I personally put a lot of works in progress online because I love to give people updates on what I'm doing, what I'm working on. Don't be afraid to ask people to give you some feedback on your work. There's also a difference between, being pushy and, spamming someone, like trying to get their attention, ask for opinions. But there are people who will say, if you want, your art to be looked at or want some feedback, just let me know, that kind of thing. And also don't try and compare yourselves to other people, because that's something that I struggled with when I was younger. I was always trying to be like an artist that I looked up to, or I was trying to compare my work to other people. So don't, it's okay to, take inspiration and, look up to artists, but try not to compare yourself or like compete, because, all artists are in it to get their work out there and share it with people. And I think it's really important to remember that we're all trying to improve, and we're all trying to, get our work out there. So just not being afraid to post your artwork, and just, use references, because a lot of people will tell you that references are like cheating, which I think is a really silly thing to say. And just, really just do what's natural to you. And if there are things you want to improve on, then you've got time. It's not something that's going to happen instantly, just like anything else. So just work on what you want to work on and post your artwork. Don't be afraid to do that, and ask for help if you need it, just like anything else. So
very cool. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
Really good advice.
It really was. To be honest, for references and this and that, and for practice, and / art community event, yay! October is tomorrow, and with October in the Destiny community starts Inktober, right?
Inktober, yes, yeah,
right.
Which is really wild. There's a lot of stuff that goes along with that, and I like to do it, and people like to say there's all these rules and you can't do this and that and you can't do digital art. And I'm like, it's Inktober. If you want to draw something each day, draw something each day. There's a lot of like people who get really anxious about trying to get a finished piece out. And I think as long as you're just, doing your best and just working at your own pace with Inktober, I think I still think the guidelines. And You don't
And you
have
can
to,
totally use digital art.
right?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
not everybody's.
Yeah, that's a technique in digital art. When you have your undersketch and you're going to work on your lines, it's also called inking. I mean, it's the same thing. So,
I was about to say, that's how I view
ink.
Inktober. It's just, like you said, doing a drawing a day, no matter what it is, where it is.
The ink part is just I tell my students, I'm like, the reason you're using ink is because you can't erase it, and it gets you more confident in, when you're placing your lines in any other piece. So it's really just, to practice stroke making. So I hope, I encourage people, like, you don't have to do Inktober. You don't have to crank out a piece every day, because look at burnout too doing that. So, prep beforehand if you want. Everybody's got their own way of doing it. But I hope people don't feel they have to do certain things. They have to follow rules, because that's something I've learned after doing it several years in a row. It's like I've never done all 31 days. I've tried, but it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah,
I'm gonna attempt it this year. We shall see.
I've got 5. I think I've got 6 sketches down. So I'm set for 6 days. So I'm feeling more confident about this year. So
I was looking for the original list because somebody had a list. I've seen it.
Cobb.
Was it Cobb? Oh, actually, here
Cobb
it is right here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
if you
does he have a Destiny one too?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He actually posted it 9 hours ago as of today. If you go back to Cobb One Art on Twitter, 9:30, and scroll back to what he posted literally right now is the entire list 1 through 31, and for the first, it is a monster. Speed. He just actually.
I'm curious to what he's got going on.
Squeaky toys. Tyler's
Yeah.
I see. That's cool. Monster Speed Power Ship. Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. But no, yeah, I figured that tied in pretty good.
Yeah, I just made a prompt list of I've got it right here of just things I liked about Destiny. So that's gonna be my list. So I included some of my characters and some subclasses I really wanted to draw and that kind of thing, because that's the fun of Inktober. You get to choose what you draw every day, So, yeah.
Very true.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up. Does anybody else have any final questions or anything they want to ask? No? Well, before we go, Elaine, why don't you tell us what you've been working on? Because before we went live, I noticed you have a new patch that kind of ties in with October too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't remember who drew it. I'm gonna have to look it up. But they gave me permission.
Was it Khan? I believe.
Was it? No.
Yeah.
He was the original.
Maybe not. I'm not sure. There was someone else, but I'll look it up. Who knows? But they did give me permission. So it's Crota in a Ghostbusters, and it's doing the Moon's Haunted thing. So hey.
Nice.
I'm trying to come up with other designs. I've got Eris's Rock that I'm working on too. It's just having the color gradients and stuff working and that are it's a little different. So
nice.
Yeah, just
awesome.
Patches and patches, because gotta get ready for Christmas season.
Now your Christmas season starts real soon. You're going to be swamped.
Now.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to just flat out say, "No, you're buried with shit now." No, I know from last year you were unseen for months because you just get so many orders, which is fantastic. I mean, it's great that happens. That it's amazing how many. I you know what? At the end of Christmas this year, and when you do like a New Year's sale, when you're all done, I kind of curious how many orders you will have for this Christmas.
That's it. Yeah, it's a good. That I've never looked.
This year's going to be different. Just to see.
I just make the patches and I just send them out, and then if they get them, they get them.
That's pretty much it. Like, well, here you go. Thanks, you're great. Here's your patches.
Take your patches. I don't want them anymore. I made them. I don't want them. Take them.
Nice. Now are you working on just the one machine still, or are you working on multiple ones?
Just the one machine. She's rocking and rolling pretty much all day.
Well,
She gets breaks, but pretty much all day.
Breaks. Lunch, nap time, and a walk.
Unplugged for 1 hour.
She just squirts it with water.
No oil. Gotta get oil. He's like the Tin Man.
WD.
Anyone else spritz the WD-40?
So my fun fact is going to be: did you know oil is used for sewing?
It is. You got to oil your sewing machine. You got to oil your needles. You got to oil your bobbin. There's lots of oil involved.
Bobbin is a fun word.
Yeah,
I like it. Bobbin.
Yeah.
Joe, did you give away
Bobbin.
some of your happy pills?
No. Well, I don't know.
That's all her, huh?
Yeah, it's all me. So I'm never coming on the show. I'm just a
No.
host.
Yo, I put in a petition to make you permanent.
No.
I just want like 4 screens surrounding our guest. That way it looks like we're peer pressuring them.
It's like, oh my God.
Like the Avengers
Surrounded on all
Skype call. Y'all show up in holograms.
It's like the
With
Tom
the
Holland
T-pose.
scene. Yeah. He's like, you would care if you were even here. And then it's, oh my God, it's Robert Downey Jr. It's so good.
Oh my gosh. You guys are too much fun. But that's going to wrap us up this week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us, and we will catch you next time. Have fun.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Bing blong.
Bing bong?
No,
Or
that's
bobbin?
the ending stream sound.
Oh. Is that actually a sound? Does that make that noise?
Yeah, it goes bing blong.
Oh, I usually have everything muted.
You didn't know?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I?
What year is
What
it?
years?
What year is it?
What
Why the
year
hell
is
do I
it?
have a cane? Am I 100? Like, what's going on?
The moon's
You and my
haunted.
brother-in-law
What
can
year
hang
is
out
it?
together.
The moon's, people are telling me the moon's haunted. What the fuck is going on up
Happened
there?
on the moon.
You know, they found like
It's
some
just-
black jello up there, and that was about it.
Is it
Wait, what?
haunted?
Oh, there you go.
Moon's haunted.
But you didn't hear that on the dark side of the moon, what they found?
They found black jello?
Was it
Uh,
Optimus Prime?
It was
I know,
oil.
that's all I think of.
He just told us to roll out, and we did, and we never saw him again.
Exactly.
No, in a crater, they found a black gel-like substance in one of the craters.
Yeah.
which
damn it, Drift.
nothing
that's
is
the
supposed
kind
to
of
exist
stuff
up
that,
there.
Like wipes out humanity, because you know
You're
they're gonna
damn
bring
right
it back.
it is.
Yourself.
You know
I've
they're gonna
seen
bring
movies.
it back, and it's gonna turn out to be like some freaking zombie fungus.
Like Alien.
Yeah,
Alien or the movie
Yeah.
Life. Isn't that what happened in Life?
There was
in the movie?
one. Was
I was
it
about
Apollo?
to say, yeah, there's a movie about some black goop that
Apollo
starts like,
18?
getting into people.
Apollo
So-
18.
Yeah, something like
It
that,
is,
where they
yeah,
found
it's
something
one
on
of
the
those,
other side.
yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
good.
The
Oh,
reason
there is
why we
another one
haven't
about
been
black
back.
goop.
There's
Huh.
We're gonna have to research this and send it to NASA and go. You
Damn,
ain't
the
bringing
taken
that
are
shit
already
back.
here. We're
I was about to say,
fucked.
you better keep that on the station there.
Yeah,
So
Don't
you
come
know
back.
it's safe.
Do not bring it back.
This is not Event
that.
Horizon. Go.
I like how Bungie's been playing off of NASA's tweets about going back to
oh
the
my
moon, though.
god, NASA's got to be sitting there going, "Do we just
Who did-
stop tweeting?" Like,
Yeah,
Stop
just-
saying we're going
Who
to
are
the
these
moon.
people?
Who made the comic or whatever where it says NASA
Machine
PR
Art.
person? Oh, okay, yeah, NASA
I
PR
think
person tweeting about the moon destiny.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I have to draw a commission tonight before I go to bed because I need to finish that. It's Bungie developers trying to shove Hive wizards into a computer. So yeah, it'll be great.
I need to figure out who designed the Crota one. Now, Con did.
He did one similar.
Yeah, he did one similar, but someone else. Because I remember that was the main thing when I wanted to do it. When I wanted to do it. I don't know. I'm very bad at this.
Or Crow.
I'm very bad at this.
Well, because I asked him, I said, "Can I make a patch out of this?" He goes, "Sure." I just whipped it up in like 2 seconds. I just put two things together, and like it's not even mine. And I said, "Okay."
You're like, "But can I make a patch?"
I just need to know I can make a patch. And James said it was okay, so I'm just gonna assume it's okay.
Wait, James is the one that told you it would be okay to make it?
Yeah, we were at Disney World after Guardian Con. And he goes, "Why don't you make a patch out of that?" And I said, "Well, I asked the guy, and they said it was okay." He's like, "Well, then it's fine."
He's got a good point.
This is my cloak of panics that I've got. It's very hard to see, but yes, I made this. So
nice.
That's really good.
Yeah, my friends and I at Gen Con, not this past like 2019, but 2018, we did a whole Casual Guardians group. It was really fun. We just have been like casual clothes and like hints of what class we were. So I made a whole cloak for it. It was a lot of fun. Got to carry my ghost around with me. It was great. So
I want that fan so bad right now.
I know, like
I was going to say, is your AC unit still out?
I know, I'm very hot right now as well, but I think it's because my door is closed. So, and I wasn't a jacket the entire time, so I'm kind of. Ugh.
Yeah, I bought this fan at Epcot. It has lasted me a good while, a couple months, but it's come in handy.
I bet your AC was busted for a couple weeks.
Oh, James was here working on his video when the AC was out.
Are you kidding? Oh my god!
Oh, fuck.
I'm surprised he just didn't go. Let's go to Walmart right now.
That's what I told him. I said we could go to Starbucks. We can go somewhere. Like we can figure this out. But this fan, I busted out. I'd fan him, and then I kept joking. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm your biggest fan."
Oh my god!
The dad jokes continue.
For real.
The
dad jokes are real tonight.
Yeah, we'll just have an episode of dad jokes. It's fine.
I'm down with that.
I would be there.
I'm down. I'll just sit in the back, just muted, laughing the entire time, or my eyes rolling into the back of my head, like, "Oh my god, that was just too much."
I got another one. I just thought of it.
Oh, a dad joke? Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
What do you call a sick pony? A little horse.
Oh my god.
I'm so done.
I'm only mad because I can't come up with them, like my visceral reaction.
God.
I heard
what happens when you go?
What do you say to a ghost that is trying their best? That's the spirit.
Oh my god.
All right, bye.
On that note.
For real.
I'll be here all week.
Yeah.
And even better, hold on, where is he? Speaking of, here's my little ghost. So.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
I got some of the vinyl ones, but I got the Amazon one, and then I got the I think it was the Ghost Edition one that has the voice of Peter Dinklage still.
Oh,
Super
wow.
creepy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Peter.
It's old school. Hey, how many apples grow on a tree? All of them.
12.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
I had to get in on
sad.
that. I had to get in on it.
Definitely on that
All right.
note.
On that note.
Another beer.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. It's been a blast. I've had so much fun tonight.
I'm glad. It's been a lot of fun.
It has, and I'm gonna actually edit this. I'm gonna try and get it done tonight, if not tomorrow, because I got time.
Hey, it's on your side. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
maybe get some rest tonight, Joe.
Yeah, I might. I'll convert everything tonight and then mix. Because I gotta wait until launch for tomorrow, anyways.
True.
Plus, I had to one day ship something from Amazon, and I need it. So my office is right next to the front door, so I'm going to be in here anyways.
That's going to be the thing tomorrow. I don't get home till late. I'm just going to be staring at my phone like, stop posting spoilers.
Oh, I don't care about spoilers.
See,
so.
I'm with Elaine. I don't care about spoilers. I'd rather somebody just tell me.
Nope.
I don't mind them at all.
I'm going to block anything that
comes
says
to cutscenes.
Shadow.
So.
Really?
I'm muting so many words.
I have a tag that I'll be putting out at the beginning of all my posts, so that way people can mute that, and so they don't forget to unmute me when I tell them to mute me. But guys, I'm still here.
I'm not going to mute individuals, just words.
Yeah.
Shadow, keep, destiny.
I have my own tags.
Moon.
I feel like that's the way.
Anything that has the word moon.
I can't complain. Right.
Gameplay.
See, that's you guys. Me, like the day after a movie comes out, somebody would be like, "Oh, I went to go see Endgame." Really? Mm-hmm. What happened? Because I want to know. I'm not patient enough to sit
for me,
there.
It depends on the movie.
True. Not me, because I still have to experience it. Even though I know what's going to happen, I still get to watch it and experience the build-up and everything. It's like it's not going to ruin anything for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, catch you all later.
Okay, bye.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Sounds good.
Night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
This is the end.